Hello! For this week's module, I created a program that uses a dynamically allocated array to sort a user-defined number of test scores and calculate the average. So I've included the memory library to utilize the dynamic memory allocation operator. I have two function prototypes. The first function will perform a selection sort, and the second one is going to calculate the average of the scores. In my main function, I've declared a dynamic pointer called scores. There are also two variables, numScores, which will hold the number of scores that the user wishes to enter, and the count variable is going to help my loops increment. So that the first thing that the user sees is the prompt to enter the number of scores that they wish to enter. I then assign this value to numScores. I use this while loop to validate the user input for a positive integer value, since you can't have a negative number of scores. Here I'm going to dynamically allocate an array to hold the user-defined number of scores by using the new operator. Then I'm going to go into a for loop in order to get each individual score from the user. Notice that I again use the while loop in order to validate the scores, as I'm not accepting negative scores. After the array is populated, I'm going to call the two functions in order to sort the scores and calculate the average. This part here is to pause the system in order to allow the user to evaluate the results. And here I'm using the delete operator to release the memory that was previously allocated to the array scores. Otherwise, the program would reserve that unused memory after the array is no longer in use. Okay, so after my main function, we have my function definitions. The first function is going to use the selection sort to arrange and display the scores in ascending order, using a for loop to compare the scores to see which is the lowest value. So it repeats and then continues to select the lowest value and populates it to the temporary array created in the function. And it then displays the sorted scores. The next function calculates the average by using a for loop to accumulate the total by adding each score, and then dividing it by the number of scores and displaying it to the user. Okay, let's run it. I'm going to use a smaller number of scores rather than, say, 100 for the sake of watchability. Okay, everything looks sorted and the average is correct. Thank you for watching.